Hello, everybody. It's just after 6 p.m. London time, GMT, and I'm going to read to you again. And why am I doing this? I'm doing this because basically it's really, really important to find a way to access that part of yourself that feels safe, that feels good, that can relax into a story. And you know, when we're listening to a story as opposed to watching a movie, what happens is when the words are spoken out, they connect to a part of yourself that allows your imagination to fill in the pictures that go with the story. And in doing so, we engage a whole other part of ourselves. And in doing that, engaging the creative side of ourselves, which naturally is a part of us that feels better. What happens is that basically we disengage the part of ourselves that might not feel so good or might be concerned about things or feeling anxious or any of these other things, basically. And so this is why I decided to read to you on a daily basis, and I'm going to read a whole mix of stories and books, etc. Not necessarily the whole book, because I want to honour and respect the authors, and so I encourage you to basically go ahead and purchase the book online or audio and listen to the rest. And if you really, really enjoy any particular one, we can always come back to it and do another little part. I'd be more than happy to. So this book that I'm going to read to you from today is it's basically called Unstoppable Me. And Unstoppable Me is written by an amazing gentleman who is no longer with us, Dr. Wayne Dyer. And he's co-authored it with a lovely lady called Christina Tracy. And Unstoppable Me has the tagline on the title of the book saying 10 ways to soar through life. And the reason why I'm reading to you is because when you listen to somebody reading to you, what it does is it helps you step into that safe place within yourself. And because your brain has to create all the pictures itself to go with the words, the creative part of you switches on and disengages any other parts of you that might be concerned, worried, or overwhelmed by things in life. And it's a children's book, actually. And I've never read it before, so we're going on this journey together. So let me start. The first chapter is called You're Great No Matter What. And it reads, you are worthwhile simply because you're alive. Never forget this. And you're sure to thrive. Learn from your mistakes and you'll get stronger as you grow. Believe you'll succeed and then make it so. If you value yourself and all that you are, you'll be unstoppable, the next superstar. It's got a lovely image to go with it. Ooh, need to be better at that. I have a part in the big school play. Unfortunately, I forgot all my lines today. Some kids laughed, and I wanted to hide. But I still believe I'm a star inside. So tonight, when I'm standing in that brilliant spotlight, no matter what happens, I'll be all right. Chapter 2, Persistence Pays Off. When there's something in your life that you want to do, once you begin, you must follow through. It's not about talent or if you are smart. It's about never quitting something you start. Don't tell yourself, I can't, or dwell on mistakes. Patience and determination are really all that it takes. Every day after school, I practice my guitar. I know I can be just as good as any rock star. I don't ever give up when my chords sound wrong. I play them over and over till I nail that song. My friends all say, can't you play something new? But to get where I want, I know what I have to do. Chapter 3. Welcome the unknown. Change is a good thing. It happens every day. If you learn this when you're young, it will help you on your way. And do press the likes if you're enjoying this. Each day is different from the day before, and it sometimes feels scary when opening a new door. But if you don't fear change and embrace it instead, life will be an adventure, and you'll look forward to what's ahead. I've always spent the summer with my best friend Shay. But this year, Mom sent me to sleepover camp, which seemed so far away. I cried and I yelled, I won't know anyone. But Dad said, try it. I know you'll have such fun. And guess what? He was right. I had nothing to fear. I had such a blast that I'm going longer next year. Chapter 4. You have a choice. Rely on yourself and be true to who you are. What's unique about you is what will take you far. Don't look to others to say you're okay. You know it, so believe it. Show your own self the way. Don't blame others for the things you say or do. Every choice that you make is all up to you. It's a really nice image here. Let me see if I can do this. There we go. See that? Signposts. Sometimes I think too much about what others do and say. I feel so small around them. They must know the right way. But then I stop and I listen to that little inside voice, the one that whispers in my heart, you always have a choice. So I pause and I think, what's the best way for me? Only I know who and what I want to be. Chapter 5, Farewell to Worry. If you want to be unstoppable, there's something you must know. Worrying can bring you down and cause helpless feelings to grow. Just try to remember, when stressful thoughts attack, that positive actions on your part are the best way to fight back. So talk to someone if you're feeling blue. Tell them about your thoughts, because sharing your burdens can help you through many of life's rough spots. Last night, I was so worried about today's spelling test. I could barely concentrate on studying, and I didn't get much rest. So this morning, when I woke up, I told my mum how I felt. She gave me a hug. We practiced my words, and my worries started to melt. I'll do the best I possibly can, and that's enough for me. It feels so good to take control. I feel confident and free. So this is the last chapter I'm going to read from this book for now. If you want peace inside your heart, don't let anger in. It's just a feeling after all. It doesn't have to win. When you're mad and let it change the things you say and do, not only do you hurt yourself, but those around you too. So take your anger and let it go and learn to rise above. Then you can create a better world, one filled with peace and love. Show you the picture. Okay, that's lovely, isn't it? A really good look. Fantastic. I was just watching some ants at work when out came my brother Tim. He stepped on their heels and I was so mad I really wanted to hit him. But instead I hopped on my swing and let my anger fly away and thought of how my brother and I could find a nice way to play. I felt proud because I chose the peaceful way to be. When I have peace inside my heart, life seems much better to me. So why have I decided to read this particular story to you? Because, you know, it's really incredible times at the moment. I mean, how many times have we heard people say this? And it's really important to understand that basically, we're talking about energy here. What is energy? Energy is that level of being or existing that is your absolute foundation. So this is your thoughts, your feelings, your health at a cellular level, your ability to think clearly in amongst all sorts going on and feel calm when you're doing that. And so I thought this book was really good because you could listen to it with your children, because obviously everybody's at home in lockdown pretty much across the world at the moment, certainly a big portion of it. And, the chapters that I've just read to you, 6 chapters of 10, the headings are "You're great no matter what." And it's really important when there's all sorts of things going on that you can step back, whether you're an adult or a child, to a place of really appreciating yourself. Because, when you do gratitude, it's easy to do gratitude about things out there. But have you done gratitude for yourself, about yourself? What do you really love about yourself? What do you appreciate about yourself right now in all of this that's going on? And this might be a children's book, but the most powerful things in life to work with that really help us shift our energy from a place of worry or lethargy or confusion or overwhelm or anxiety are usually the simplest methods. So if you can just get into the habit of once or twice a day at least just stopping and saying to yourself, what do I appreciate about myself? You're going to literally rise up out of bed and you're going to operate from a completely different level. You're going to think more clearly. You're going to have thought processes where you make choices and decisions more confidently. And the next chapter was persistence pays off. And let's face it, we'll be in lockdown for some time. And so it's really important to put some routines into place for yourself that are really healthy routines and persist with them because they will pay off. Chapter 3, Welcome the Unknown. We are literally in the middle of the unknown. So whether it's with your business, whether it's in your job, whether it's as a parent learning about homeschooling, it's really important to just go, okay, let's give this a go. I don't know, and that's okay. Because it's really hard to sit in a seat where you feel like you must know things. And when you sit in a seat where you say to yourself, you must know this, you must have the answer, then, from that place, you can put an awful lot of unnecessary pressure on yourself. And while we're all working from home, that is going to show through and infect and affect all your relationships and the dynamics in that household. So this chapter 3, Welcome the Unknown, is a really important lesson. Chapter 4 was entitled You Have a Choice, and this is really, really, really important when you're locked down into one household. It's metaphorically, it can feel like, oh my God, where's my freedom? But you must remember that even in the space of lockdown, you have a choice every moment of every day, and to embrace the choices that you do have. So, regardless of what's going on, just remind yourself every now and then of what the choices you have are and the fact that there's more than one, because just that act in of itself will make you feel better. I promise you. So chapter 5 was Farewell to Worry. And this is really great because, you know, um, I sometimes forget this because, it's very easy to step into worry and anxiety and stress and, oh my God, I've got this to do and that to do, etc., especially with IT, right? So we're all moving onto the digital platform at this time in order to stay in touch with work, to actually undertake our work, discharge tasks, and to stay in touch with people. And how easy is it to get frustrated with IT systems, laptops, phones, etc.? So here's what I suggest you do. You literally say to yourself, you know what? Everything's okay. And just release any stress in your body. Watch what happens. It will help, I guarantee you. Okay, the last chapter that I read from this book, and there's 10 chapters in this, was Peace Begins with You. So if you're in a household where there's many people, you're not used to being together in that small space for days and days at a time, then if there's stuff going on around you, look at yourself. And not because you're the bigger person, but because actually this is true, okay? Just remember, peace begins with you. And if you're letting the behaviors of others get you stressed and pressured and stuff, what you're doing is you're actually taking on the energy of those around you, and you're magnifying it. That's what you're doing. You're literally magnifying it. And when you magnify the energy, it's not helping it disperse. What's happening is you're taking something and you're saying, you know what, I'm going to take on what you are. And it's a bit like in a card game, a poker game or something, which I don't actually know how to play. But, somebody says, I put this much in, and somebody else says, well, I put that in and I raise you. That's what happens when you take on the energy of those around you. So instead, when there's something going on around you that you think, you know what, this isn't actually good for any of us, it's certainly not good for me, this is the time for you to decide, okay, peace begins with you, and how can I behave in a way that's actually going to have the opposite effect, that's going to calm this whole thing down? And we can talk about that another time on how strategies on how you can do that using energetics. So if you're interested, put something in the comments down below, and I will absolutely do a very short video on that. But for now, I just want to remind you why I have decided to read from a book to you every day for about 10-15 minutes and then do a little bit of a talk. And it's simply because, at this time, it's incredibly important for us all to think about what can we do for each other, to help each other. And I thought, you know what? There's a lot of people putting a lot of fantastic information out. And I thought, you know what? Let me just create a 10, 15, 20 minute slot in the day, every single day at a set time where you can get a cup of tea yourself or with your children. You can all sit there and just listen to somebody reading to you. You can either just enjoy it and allow your brains to fill in the pictures and the visuals. And when you do that, you see the creative part of your brain engages, which means the other part of your brain that worries, etc., gets switched off. And then you can relax and go into a space of well-being and use that as a tool to just to the energy of the day. And if you want to, you can take it a step further and think about the lessons or the message that you hear that strikes you from whatever I read. Because, different things are going to stand out for different people. And just trust whatever it is that stands out for you is the right thing for you to pay attention to. And maybe just ask yourself, okay, what is the message from this phrase or this bit that stood out for me in my life, that's going to be a good thing for me to listen to and pay attention to. But for now, I just want to say to you, wherever you are in the world, have a really wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, whatever time of day it is. And do join me again. My name is Kurly, the Feng Shui Master, and I am on Facebook and I am on YouTube as Kurly Marwaha. And every day at GMT London time, 6 p.m, I'll be reading to you. Because, when we all relax, we feel better, we feel calmer, and we operate better. And then our immunity grows stronger, and all our cells also reverberate a message of well-being throughout our bodies as well. So have a lovely, lovely day, whatever time of day it is for you, and I send you all my love. Bye for now.